Hi YouTube, my name is Miwo, and today we are watching What is Warhammer 40,000 by Bricky, and this is the timeline of the 40k lore. I'm currently doing a donathon to celebrate my new models, so if you want to come support me, I'll be live between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. EST on my Twitch and Kick channel every day. And as always, if you have any recommendations for what you'd like me to react to, leave a comment below so I can check it out. Please like and subscribe. I can see you not pressing the button. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below my videos. Enjoy!
Here we go again. I'm just gonna keep rewatching until it makes sense.
60 million years ago, there existed aliens.
Yeah.
And these aliens lived short, painful lives. They belonged to radiation-stricken worlds and often died of various cancers before the age of 30. These aliens, the Necron tier, looked up to the stars and found extreme beings of...
Okay, so the aliens lived on Earth? Are there any humans in Warhammer? I feel like that's my first question. Are there any humans in Warhammer? The Seaton, which are also real-life gods, used Necrons to kill the old ones, and the Necrons evolved. Okay, so that's how he started the Necron army, right? Yes, but later. Okay. So what planet do these aliens live on? Do they live on... Oh my god. Do they live on Earth? Or Jupiter? Or Mars? Or Saturn? Or Uranus? Or do they live on like some mythical planet that is to be named? It's stressing me out. I'm too focused on... I have to understand the small details to get the bigger picture. Considering like 90% of my audience on YouTube is Warhammer, so I might as well start learning. I gotta start somewhere. Okay, they live on many, not specific one. Okay, so... Is there mythical planets in Warhammer? There is, right? So we have the regular space planets, and then the mythical planets, and then also are there different dimensions in Warhammer, and like different kind of like space and time dimensions, or is it just like one dimension? Because they also have the warp to hell, which is the realm of chaos, right? I'm guessing that's like the big enemy, but then they're eating each other, so they don't have a big enemy. In fact, everyone's the enemy. They just hate each other, right? Like everyone hates each other, right? And I'm lost. All right, this is the part where I wait. There's the normal one that we live in, and then there is hell, the warp. So there's no mythical planets. All the planets are real. All the planets are like real life planets then? Everyone hates everyone? Yes. Okay, got it. Alright. And then the next question. Are there different dimensions? Can you space travel to a different dimension with different planets? I know nothing about Warhammer, but I would assume nothing from IRL is included until said so. Well, that's like what he mentioned before, like maybe at like 6 minutes in, he mentioned that this real life space. So that's when I was like, oh, is she? Okay. So these aliens, the Necrons here, looked up to the stars and found the extreme beings.
Real power. Beings
real power.
with the ability to create life. The old ones of the galaxy.
Are the old ones like the oldest gods of the galaxy? Like these guys are like the elders? No, it's okay. Don't worry. It's okay. Don't feel bad. It's a lot of information. Okay. So the old ones, these guys are the elders? We fuck with the old ones? Technically, Warplace takes time in a real timeline. Oh, I see. So it's 2025 right now. Then that means in Warhammer, it's also 2025. Does it work like that? Just change the stream title to like trying to understand Warhammer with a stupid cat.
They asked these old ones for help. Please cure us of our ailments. To which the old ones said, piss off. So the Necron...
Wait, so the Necrons are the first faction to enter the Warhammer universe? What was like $10 minimum? No, aren't you a kick partner? You have the verified badge. And then what's the next question? So Necrons are the oldest faction? No, wait, the elders, the old ones would be the eldest faction, right? Oh, wait, there's different levels. Are you like affiliate? Then give it a 10 kicks. It depends on how many like chatters and viewers you have. I think it only like really pays off when you have like a couple hundred, like above 500. Just like right now, there might be aliens in space that are older than us. Okay, so it starts at the very beginning. So Necrons, first faction. Then they discovered the old ones, which are older than the Necrons. And the Necrons said, cure us of our ailments. But what ailments did they have? They wanted to live immortality?
Tier gathered together and did the sensible thing. They declared war upon these old beings and were promptly beaten into the dirt back to their short, painful lives. In the world of Warhammer...
Oh yeah, because they have a lot of illnesses like cancer and stuff, so they don't live past 30. That's why... Yes, now I remember. Okay, so that's why the Necrons wanted help from the old ones. Okay, it's starting to make sense. I'm understanding now.
There is a hell. This hell is not.
We're making progress. I'm making progress in understanding the video.
And I know it. It's more of an afterlife, a place where dead souls end up. This place has many names: the Empyrean, the Sea of Souls, the Immaterium, and the Ether. But mostly, we just call it.
Why there's so many names?
While you and I know of hell as a place of horrors and punishment, the warp isn't really that. Not in the beginning. It's energy. But the kind of energy formed from thought and soul, psychic energy, where the dead souls of people end up in a place that is impossible to understand. No laws of reality exist. Like, time is merely a suggestion, and it is not something that can be braved easily. The warp.
But aren't you dead already in the warp? How do you even like? How can you think if you're dead? Are you not dead? Do souls think? Do I believe in ghosts? But ghosts can't think straight. He will get to it. Okay.
Would be like sailing the ocean in a pirate movie. To jump from your ship would be certain death. To stay in the sea for too long on your boat could drive a man mad. And there are many dangerous things lurking in those depths. Yet the sea is not evil. It simply is. Mostly. There are more malevolent beings.
I mean, I'm guessing it's because there's like monsters in the ocean. That's why it's not evil, but it's just like dangerous. It's like dangerous waters. Like that. I feel like that's what he's getting at.
Areas that you do not sail towards. This would be known as the realm of chaos. The realm of chaos exists in the warp as a special area led by 3 chaos gods. Khorne, the god of combat.
I thought no one was alive in the warp. How are there 3 chaos gods in the warp? Where did these guys come from? Would they just spawn out of my friggin' ass cheeks or something?
Murder and slaughter, with a pile of skulls taken in his name. Tzeentch.
Are gods alive? If they're not alive, then how are they talking?
God of change, mystery, and deceit. A confusing paradox of lies, schemes, and sorceries. And Nurgle, god of rot,
I don't like this one. He looks weird. No. This guy, this Urgot looking guy.
Nurgle is waiting for you with.
Yeah, Nurgle. Nurgle's name, right? Wait, this guy. Yeah, Nurgle. He looks like a combination of the Venus flytrap and the Witch of the Sea from My Little Mermaid and Urgot from League of Legends, and then he also looks like the guy in the woods with the big deer horns. I forgot his name. There's like a mythical creature in the woods, and then the big tongue. I don't know where that comes from, but anyways, it's one of the prettier Nurgles. Oh,
of rock.
Wait, Nurgle. You say prettier Nurgles with an S. Is there more than one Nurgle? I thought if they're gods, there's only one. Nurgle is less violent. He's just the Wendigo. The Wendigo. Yes, exactly. The disease guy. Okay. So that's why he's mixing like a pot of green, right? That makes sense. Okay, he's a silly god. I don't think he's a silly god. He lives in the realm of chaos in the warp. I don't think he's a silly guy. But I'm a silly guy.
Pestilence and Genshin Impact. All things rot in the end. And Grandfather Nurgle
it's like the 5 horsemen of hell. Can we compare it to the 5 horsemen of hell? Like death, despair, I don't know their names, but you know what I mean, the 5 horsemen of hell. Like, I feel like that's like the same concept. These 3 chaos realm gods are like the equivalent of the 5 horsemen from hell in our reality, in our life. Thank you for the 10 kicks, Rooster Cat. Yeah, the feminine stuff.
Waiting for you with open arms. These gods ruled their
the 4 horsemen, yes,
the warp, sending their many followers against each other in the great game to be the most powerful of all the gods. So the warp exists. Hell is real, parallel to our galaxy, with the realm of chaos and its gods fighting for control. But there are also gods of real space, gods of the normal.
This is the part. This is the part that confused me when there was gods of real space. Because I was like thinking like, okay, because there's a warp, is there like mythical planets? Like, I don't know, like random planets, like in Mass Effect, how they had like a bunch of like, you know, they had like a bunch of planets that weren't real life based, I think. I don't remember actually. But you know what I mean.
World 2. They're called Gatan, and they eat stars.
Wait, I want to know why they're called Gatan.
Normal World 2. They're called.
Why are they called Gatan when it looks like a C? Isn't that Cetan? Why does it sound like a G? Gatan. Shouldn't it be Cetan? Wait, isn't there one more? Never mind. Wait, what do you mean proxy posse?
Called Gatan, and they eat stars.
Okay.
Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
These star gods saw the plight of our poor Necron tier and how the old ones cast them aside and said, you know what? You guys want immortality? Oh, we will make it happen. We are the gods of the tangible, of real space. We can give you a cure. So then they ate all their souls.
So the Necron went to the real space gods for help. And the real space gods trolled them by eating all their souls. And then after their souls were eaten, did their souls go to the warp? Did they stay there? Because the Necron turned into Terminators, right? So as a Terminator, do you have a soul? Because how can you have a brain if you're a Terminator? Like, where do you have, like, did they put the brain on the chip? Oh my god, I'm so confused. The Cetan ate the souls and got super duper strong. Okay.
And turned them into robotic automaton.
Oh, they turned them into robotic.
Souls and leaving a hollow shell of an intelligent.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So because they were eating their souls, they don't go to the chaos realm. They don't go to the warp because their souls were eaten. And they turned them into Terminators without any feelings, but only intelligence?
Left that is technically immortal. With the power of an entire species' souls, they turned their new robotic slaves on the old ones and hunted them to extinction. The Necron tier, now the soulless, undying Necrons, got their wish at the price of their souls. But we can count the number of kind gods on an amputated hand. With time, the selfish star god.
Wait, we can count the number of kind gods on an amputated hand. So there is no gods that are nice. No one's nice. If you fold your hand, you have no fingers left. What are you counting if you have no fingers left? No? But the hand was amputated. So you'd have a nub, right? Yeah, all are bad. So there's no kind gods. Yeah, so there's none left to like consider as a kind god because it's on an amputated hand.
Turned on each other, fighting one another for more chances at glory and power. With this, the leader of the Necrons, Zarek, the Silent King, the man who doomed his species when he accepted this deal.
Sacre Cesarke? Hold on. I need to know his name properly.
Silent King, glory and power. With this, the leader of the Necrons, Zarek, the
Zarek. So the S is silent. Zarek. Got it. Zarek was the one who went to the old gods. No, wait. Not the old gods. Zarek was the one who went to the real life gods. Do they have a name? The Sea Tinny? The Catan? So Zarak went to Catan for assistance, but instead of helping them, they ate him. Right? That's what's happened so far. That's this point. There's few to no kind gods. But think about it. Going out of your way to be kind takes effort. And you live forever, you eventually run out of effort to give and become indifferent to the suffering of the short-lived. Okay. That makes sense. But it's still nice to be nice.
Silent King, the man who doomed his species when he accepted this deal, waited, planned, bide his time until he sees the perfect moment and turn.
But if they're Terminators that are hollow, if they're Terminators that became a hollow shell of intelligence, then wouldn't that mean that they don't have any feelings or brain cells? Like, wouldn't that mean that they don't think about this stuff?
Turned his legions of undead citizens against the star gods. Gods cannot be killed, but they can be broken. So Zarek broke the star gods into thousands of pieces and
wait, how did he break? Oh, they're called star gods. So where did the Catan go? Wait, so how did he even break them if he doesn't have a brain? But he was thinking and planning and scheming for so long. My tip for Warhammer 40K lore, don't overthink stuff and accept info. I can't. My brain doesn't work like that. I need to understand all the details to be able to process what's happening. I'm a very big, like, why person. I constantly have a why question. Why did this happen? Why are they doing this? Why? Why are they eating each other? Why are they mean? She keeps pausing before the explanation. It's because I have questions.
And locked them away in vaults, taking their free will away as they did to them, and sealed them away as basically Pokemon to be used as weapons in the future.
Okay.
It's Pikachu!
Zarek then, with his perfect memory, exiled himself for his sins, flying out to the darkness between galaxies to atone for what he had done. This entire situation, the genocide of the Old Ones and the rebellion of Zarek, will go down in history as the War in Heaven. It is the most brutal war the galaxy—
How did we get to the War in Heaven? I'm lost again because you told me to not pause the video when he's explaining. I don't understand how we got here. Oh my god! This is why I have to ask questions before he explains it. I'm lost again. All right, I'm going back. So he kills the star gods. So the leader of the Necrons kept his precious memories. And he kills the star gods. Then he fucks off. Disappears into the oblivion. And then? But like, why is it called the War in Heaven? Where did that word come from? Where did the war— oh, it's the name of the whole situation. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Alright, I understand now. That means I'm a god too. Because I came from heaven. I'm an angel cat.
Situation, the genocide of the Old Ones and the rebellion of Zarek will go down in history as the War in Heaven.
Oh, it went down in history as the war in heaven. I see. You know what? I could close a war in heaven with the amount of questions I have. Good meal, thank you.
It is the most brutal war the galaxy has ever seen
6-7.
and ever will see. This was a conflict that took an entire galaxy-spanning species and pitted them against gods that ate stars. The Necrons, rather crippled from, you know, the war in heaven, decide to go to sleep in gigantic tomb worlds on various planets until the upstart species of the galaxy died out. And so turns out when you have a war that lasts tens, hundreds of thousands of years and involves the genociding of multiple species, the old ones of the galaxy, and the consumption of souls from an entire race, the warp gets a little wacky. You know, if you had a kiddie pool and it was nice and calm, Korn is over there splashing about, so you don't really go in that direction. Nurgle has explosive diarrhea, so you don't really go in that direction either, but you can still kind of get in the pool. The pool's still fine. Turns out when you add a couple trillion souls to that kiddie pool, it'll make the waves a little more turbulent. And turns out a lot of them like to pick a side, Nurgle, Tzeentch, or Korn. So the once calmer warp, the once relaxing kiddie pool has now been bloated. A million years of war will certainly make Korn, god of murder and slaughter, more powerful. A million years of war will probably make Tzeentch, god of deception and change, a little more powerful. And good God, a million years of war will make Nurgle, god of decay, oh, just the tiniest bit more powerful. Now,
just the
entering that kiddie
tiniest
pool
bit
is no longer fun, it's dangerous. The warp is now a problem. Hell is resembling hell a lot closer to what we imagined it originally. The Sea of Souls and the Realm of Chaos are now intertwined. So who else to brave the galaxy than a species that won't need to deal with that?
Who? The Age of the Eldar.
The Eldar are space elves. They have a lot of the traits that you probably think of when you think of elves.
Sarcasm.
Tall, slender, pointy ears, bit more androgynous looking,
That
no
looks
matter
like
what DeviantArt
Loki.
will tell you, and a bit stronger on the emotional side. The old ones, as I mentioned, could create life. And when they were getting, you know, absolutely bodied by the Catan and the Necrons, they made some new races to try to help them. One of them was the Eldar. It didn't save them, but they're here now anyway.
The Necron made a new race? The old ones created the Eldar and the Orcs. Okay, so there's 2 new races. So now there is Eldar and the Orcs. Okay, go back 30 seconds.
Oh, and also one of them.
Oh, sorry. 1, 2. 5 p.m. still have sunlight? Yeah. Oh, that's summer.
And a bit stronger on the emotional side. The old ones, as I mentioned, could create life. And when they were getting, you know, absolutely bodied by the Catan.
Oh, the old ones could create life. And when they were getting bodied by the Catan.
Necrons, they made some new races to try to help them. One of them was the Eldar. It didn't save them, but they're here now anyway. Oh, and also the Orcs, but they're busy right now.
What the heck? They look like they're fighting themselves.
The Eldar are a particularly psychically powerful race. So they were really adept at being able to handle the new turbulent warp of chaos and good at killing Necrons. Hence why they went to sleep. Being psychically gifted is basically like being a wizard. But you
Shadow Wizard Money Gang! Okay, so
wizard powers from hell.
Stop. So basically, the Eldar were so good at killing the Necrons just fucked off and went to bed. Right? Yeah? Alright, cool. So far, so good. So far, so good. We are still on the right track of understanding everything.
This is called being a psyker. And basically, if you want to do cool wizard shit like lightning from your hands or reading someone's mind,
Shadow is a mini game.
But you siphon the energy to do that from the warp. Luckily, the Eldar are very good at handling this without too many negative effects because, you know, summoning power from the Sea of Souls with the new Chaos friends can be a bit of an issue. But Eldar are pretty good at it. And you see, what's really cool and also awful about Warhammer is that most developed species travel long, faster than light distances by going through that warp. They create a tear in reality to unreality and move through it. Faster than light travel? Cringe. We go through hell itself to deliver your packages. For those of you who play Minecraft, you know how the nether is like a pocket dimension? So moving 10 spaces in the nether is actually moving something like 1,000 in the real world. That's basically what warp travel is. Just much like in the nether, there are a lot of things that want to kill you. The Eldar found a way to do so in between realities. Not regular reality, not the warp, something else. A purgatory of sorts. A fabricated psychic realm that allowed them to travel without fearing the negative effects of the warp.
So the Eldar made their own teleport tier light system in space? Because they didn't want to risk going for the Chaos Realm warp? Now that's kind of smart, isn't it?
The perfect fit for the new galaxy. And they took it with open arms and pointy ears. The empire of the Eldar spread everywhere, and it spread all the way until now. The 21st century. That's right. While you were watching NPC streams on TikTok, the space elves were ruling the galaxy, and they did so for quite a long period of time. The 21st century came and went. Humanity grew and grew, all under the nose of their elf overlords. At this time, humans advanced, your classic sci-fi style way.
So
we
we're
began
humans
to expand, colonize our solar system, terraformed our planets, created new and more powerful machines and starships. The age of Terra, also known as Earth, but we call it Terra here, was here, and existed between the 21st century all the way until the 15th millennia. Not much is known about this time. Not much.
What is the difference between the 21st century and the millennia?
Then came the years between 15,000 and 25,000, the age of technology, or to some, the dark age of technology. This is when humanity reached a new apex of logical understanding. When you think of sci-fi, there's a lot of things you can think of. Star Trek, maybe Star Wars style. You can go cyberpunk dystopian. The age of technology was deep sci-fi, like a scientific prowess that.
Is steampunk considered sci-fi, or is it too old school? Wouldn't it be like historical-fi? History-fi?
Fringed on magic. This is also when the first ever psychers began showing up in humanity. Individuals with the genetic mutation to be able to access the warp, and then because of that, travel through it. Humanity was no longer constricted to their early ways of travel. With warp travel, they could go anywhere in the galaxy. They equipped ships with gigantic AI machines, with everything you would ever need to know about mankind, and sent them out on colony ships to expand their influence across the galaxy. This was truly the golden age of humanity. And with every golden age...
Was that a Berserk reference? Also, steampunk is Wild West? Yeah, it makes sense. I want to make Midwest music, if you know the reference. Nice. I recognize the Berserk reference. That's sick. I've never seen Berserk, though.
There is a fall. While the new human upstarts of the galaxy were reaching new levels of technology and prowess, the Eldar were engaging in
debauchery. Debauchery!
What is debauchery?
What happens when a species has everything? You can produce unlimited food out of nothing. Your need for farmers and workers, gone. You have dominated the stars and have created a fast travel system that doesn't rely on the dangers of the warp. You have nothing else to do. You have no struggles, no problems, and feel as if there is nowhere else to go. Well, you begin to experiment. The Eldar started harmless enough. You know, you take a serious interest in your species' culture, your arts, paintings, poems, plays. These are Eldar, elves. Remember, their emotions are heightened, more powerful than us humans. So your plays get louder. They start to push on the limits of your hearing ability. Your music becomes different, more deranged. It pushes the boundaries of what is art. The visual spectacle of art becomes more bizarre, more delusional, more eccentric. And let's not forget a very important sense. Touch. Pornography is one thing. Brothels is another. What if they all mixed? What if your brothels were part of your art?
I'm a furry!
Thank you. Hello, Xenia people. Thank you. W's in the chat for Xenia people.
Art and music. And what if those became more deranged? The boundaries of debauchery were not just met, but shattered.
Okay.
Next thing you know, murder is commonplace and often mixed with the art, music, and sex. Pain is a common byproduct of entertainment. Whatever sensation you can have must be increased, must be enhanced, must be taken to the limits. The Eldar Empire slipped into a nightmarish realm of debauchery and excess, with the worst of it taking place in a city in the Webway, a black market for these kinds of heinous acts known as Kamara. Some Eldar saw the writing on the wall, saw what was happening to their species and how far they had slipped. So they boarded continent-sized starships called craft worlds and left their empire, seeking a more enlightened, calmer existence.
Is my neighbor single? I don't know because I don't go outside.
Among their peers. Some, those in Kamara, pushed it to even greater heights, relishing the pain and torment they inflicted on those around them. All during this, the warp, the yin to the yang of the world, was fed by these emotions, by the psychic power of the Eldar, by the souls taken in these depraved acts on a galactic scale. And just like that, Eldar ended. Slaanesh, the fourth chaos god, was birthed into existence and consumed the souls of 90% of the Eldar population. Those that fled were spared the worst of it, and those in the Webway and Kamara were able to stave off the pull of Slaanesh so long as they continued to commit horrid acts of torture and violence. But for the majority of the Eldar, their empire died with Slaanesh's birth. The new fourth chaos god, she who thirsts, the god of unspeakable excess of pleasure, pain, hedonism, and perfection, had
she's
been
like BDSM.
born. With the fall of the Eldar Empire came the ruin of humanity. Slaanesh's birth sent storms in the warp across the galaxy, making travel between star systems impossible. Coupled with a huge classic AI rebellion, as a staple in these sci-fi settings, humanity began to suffer the age of strife. Now, planets that relied on intergalactic travel were completely cut off. Long-range messages normally sent through the warp were snuffed out. If you were a planet that was great at mining stuff but couldn't get food, well, you know that movie about the rugby players in the mountains? Oh, and because of these insane warp storms and fluctuations, psychers began to appear among the human population a bit more often. Now, this initially had them hunted down as witches, because that's pretty common in this setting, but some deemed it right to protect them. Unfortunately for those people, psychers, because they open a gateway to the warp, don't really know how to use their powers well, and they
kill people by accident.
Demons who then force their way through the psyker as a conduit of sorts and begin to slaughter the population of your planet. The age of strife was a catastrophic period of time for humanity and set back their progress tenfold over the not one, not two, but 5,000 year period. During this time, the age of humanity that we know began to form. Worlds equipped with large mechs for agriculture began to equip them with weapons to defend from alien and demonic invaders. Over 5,000 years, this became a custom and tradition, dubbing them as night worlds, a feudal society of honor-bound knights in gigantic robots that uphold the chivalric code to defend their worlds and honor. A group of individuals on Mars, after radioactively bombing their planet to become inhospitable to human life, ran their entire lives underground on the few life support systems keeping them alive. Those technicians who could work on the machines and keep them operational were revered, and over 5,000 years went from skilled members of society to full-blown priests. The cult Mechanicus, or tech priests of Mars, formed in the ashes of the Red Planet with a religious fervor and doctrine on the cult of the machine god. And on Earth, or Terra, techno-barbarian tribes waged war across the planet in a Mad Max style of blood until finally, a mysterious man who lived in the shadows of Terra for millennia finally revealed himself to the populace. His name was the Emperor. He deemed himself the Emperor of mankind. Where did he come from? I don't know. Why is he 10 feet tall and the most powerful psyker of all of mankind? I don't know. Why is he basically immortal? I don't know. Where'd Cotton Eye Joe go? Who knows? But he's here, and he isn't happy with all of you ripping up Terra. So he began the Unification Wars, where he and a very early version of the famous Space Marines, the Thunder Warriors, reunited Terra under a single banner. With blood. Then, after taking over Earth, he reunited the Thunder Warriors into the fucking dirt. This is where we get the Imperium of Man, also known as the Imperium. The new faction headed by the Emperor of Mankind with a treaty signed with the cult Mechanicus on Mars to spread out and reunite humanity after the catastrophic Age of Strife. But first, the Emperor is going to need some smaller versions of himself. 20 of them, 18 of them, I meant, gene-crafted sons of the strongest human to ever live. All of them possess unparalleled strategic power, intelligence, formidable strength and size, a real powerful force to unite humanity and stop the chaos of the current galaxy. Speaking of chaos, you ever seen that image of that guy? It's like throwing the baby like a basketball. It's about what happened. The Chaos Gods intervened and grabbed the 18 Primarch gestation pods and yeeted them across the galaxy at a whim, everywhere they could possibly go. A galactic game of keep away. So the Emperor had to get them back. So begins the Great Crusade. A crusade across the stars to reunite not just humanity, but the Emperor with his fallen sons. The first to be found was Horus. One of the strongest and most noble sons. The Emperor carried with him a legion of newly crafted warriors with genetic material made from their Primarch father. These are the newly made Space Marines.
The Space Marines!
Horus,
I know these ones!
Wolves. And as the Emperor continued on his great crusade, he found more and more of his sons, reuniting them with their individual Space Marine legions. Leman Russ, the cunning hunter with the Space Wolves. Rogel Dorm, the Phalanx with the Imperial Fists. Angron, the Barbarian, the very angry with his World Eaters. Fulgrim, the Perfect, with his Emperor's children. And Jagatai Khan, the Swift, the Stoic, and his white scars. Those were just some of the 18, and one by one his lost Primarch sons were returned to him, and their Space Marine legions returned to them. The Great Crusade saw humanity once again reconquer the stars, returning worlds of humanity back to the Imperium and killing any and all who stood against their noble crusade. But in the years of the 31st millennia, treachery would break this all apart. Horus, the Emperor's most beloved and favored sons, named War Master for the Crusade, succumbed to the power of chaos and daddy issues, all because of that bastard Erebus. Yo, fuck Erebus. Slowly, Horus would become corrupted, turning the Emperor's sons against him. This begins the most pivotal moment in our story, and the one that has like 50 books written about it, the Horus Heresy. 9 of the 18 Primarchs turned against the Emperor, and the following years were a bloody battle for the throne of Terra. The Emperor originally was working on a special webway project, just like the Eldar, to make faster-than-light travel significantly easier and safer, really improve humanity to allow them to conquer the stars without the risk of the warp. Well, this big red idiot named Magnus kind of blew a hole into that. literally and figuratively. So Big E over there is stuck on a gigantic golden throne, holding back the oncoming rush of demons and powering the Astronomicon, basically a big North Star for people who are sailing in the warp to help them navigate. The Horus Heresy saw many loyalist and traitor legions pitted against each other in a bloody war until it reached Terra itself. Horus, unable to break through the lines and with time running out, made a gambit and opened his ship up to be boarded. The Emperor took this challenge, quickly allowing someone else to take control of the throne as he teleported his way onto Horus's flagship, the
If Horus opened his doors for everyone to join, does that mean he was okay with like literally the civilians joining and like people from other factions joining? So one sec, I'm gonna stand up. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I need to take the dog out the pee-pees. Alright. We got like 10 minutes left. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? You cannot make this shit up, man. Alright, can I snooze it? Why are you bye-byeing me? I'm not gone yet. Fuck it. I'll switch video. Alright, let's go.
Vengeful spirit. The Emperor, unable to truly kill his most beloved son, changed his mind right quick when Horus strangled the life out of his other son, Sanguinius.
Oh no!
I'm sure you've seen this image at
Sanguinius
some
is
point.
dead.
The Emperor then said, "I'm not gonna sugarcoat it," and proceeded to psychically blast Horus into complete oblivion, killing not only his body, but also his soul. Horribly wounded from this duel, the Emperor is returned to the Golden Throne in order to keep the demons at bay and power the Astronomicon, because without it, humanity would be flying blind. There, he sits, slowly dying from his wounds and the strain of powering the Golden Throne. The only thing keeping him alive is feeding upon the souls of 1,000 psychers every single day. This was 10,000 years ago. We are now in the 41st millennium, modern day. Warhammer 40,000.
Oh my god, now we're here.
The Emperor remains on his throne. The Imperium is a rotting carcass of an empire, a fascist, xenophobic cult that worships the Emperor as a deity despite him never wanting to be seen as a god. Over the span of 1 million worlds, the ecclesiarchy, the church of the Emperor, is spread throughout. Inquisitors with unparalleled power root out any sign of heresy or lack of devotion to their god Emperor. The other half of the traitor legions move about as Chaos Space Marines, raiding and pillaging the Imperium, while the loyalist half does their best to keep the Empire alive.
I feel like that's too many. Like, even if you're trying to keep like a city alive, like 13 billion people is way too many. Also, why am I lagging? I think my phone's overheating. And that's why I'm lagging so much. Hold on. $13 billion people though, like that's insane. Would you be willing to sacrifice 13 million people to save like a humanity? Yeah, it's too much. That's fucked, chat. Depends. What does it depend on, sir? I wish VTuber Studio didn't like lag so much. Guys, how is my tracking gonna die? Like 5. Can you pick 13 million guys? Like, you're gonna individually pick 13 million people? That's fucked up. Alright, there we go. It should be better now. Hopefully.
All throughout this, they must endure orc invasions, Eldar trickery, the reawakening of the Necron race, and the Great Devourer.
The Necron race is back!
Threat from the dark.
Hi, Pokémon Studios. Hi.
The Necrons are back! Oh my freaking gosh.
Between galaxies that has arrived to feast on their worlds.
Oh my god.
The theme of Warhammer 40,000 is regression and intolerance. Every major faction in Warhammer has had an empire that spanned the galaxy only to be crushed back to a hollow shell of what they once were due to their own failings. Culture, the arts, personal freedom, religious tolerance, the simple possibility that alien life might not want to kill us is considered heretical and is often met with a pistol to the head. There is no time for these things. All there is time for is worship of the God Emperor and a million wars to be fought. To be a human in the 41st millennia is 99% of the time to live a horrible existence. To be one of trillions of other humans across a million worlds throughout the galaxy. A galaxy where AI is outlawed, so humans are repurposed and lobotomized to become slaves. A place where lack of devotion is met with death. And if you even have devotion, there's a good chance the threats to the galaxy, chaos.
Bottom boy Reen has reaching. Hi. How was your Reen? Welcome in, readers. I wish I had arms right now. Welcome, readers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is my new model. Do you like it? Do you like feet? Here are my feet. Show you my toes. Oh shit, you're watching this video? I'm a dumb cat and I'm trying to learn about Warhammer. It's cute, thank you. I really like it. Hi readers. How was your stream? Are you playing Enginefall today as well? I checked out Enginefall a little bit. It looks really nice. It kind of reminds me of the game we're playing right now called Void Train. But I think yours is more like, I don't know actually. Mine's like, is yours story based? I guess that would be like the biggest key difference between the two games. Oh, you're making a sound alert for a friend in Audacity? Wait, that's cool. Was it good? Did you have a good time learning Audacity? Wild, bricky, aptius, ridiculous, spotted. Explain to me? Nice. I've never tried to use Audacity, but I used to use Adobe Audition. The podcast Bricky makes about Warhammer lore? Wait, that's cool. Adeptus Ridiculous is his Warhammer explanation podcast. Oh, he's like a full-on like Warhammer guy. Probably easy to use, yeah. But yeah, Audacity is good. Okay. Enjoy your dinner this garden. Alright.
And aliens will kill you anyway. Warhammer is a world where you revel in being bad. There are protagonists, there are antagonists, but every faction is some shade of evil. Because playing the bad guys is always more fun. And my friend, you have a selection. So pick up that lasgun soldier, you and the other 3 million men and women in this single deployment on this single.
Wait, he used to be a League of Legends guy? That's crazy. Yeah, of course, that's so understandable. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, thank you again for the read. I appreciate you. Thank you for dropping by. We should do stuff soon. Yeah?
I remember when we used to play Minecraft. It was so long ago. You know, 13 million would hardly make a dent in a male to female ratio. Really? Honey.
World in this single battle will now show them the might of the God Emperor. That weapon in your hands has killed 99% of the alien populations in this galaxy. Unfortunately for you, soldier, you're fighting the final 1%. May the Emperor be with us. Glory to the first man to die. For in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
Warhammer 40K! Oh my god!
I've learned so much about the Space Marines. Oh my gosh. So the entire thing is just what? Basically, everyone just constantly wants to kill everyone else. Like, they all want to kill each other.